This is the first forum we have this fall semester 2015. Well, I want to start with a good piece of news for all of you. At the last meeting, I think Ani was here. Ani, you here, Ani? You did mention that we don't have a directory. Oh, you mentioned we don't have a directory, right? Well, I got our PR office to start working on a directory. It should be out probably by the end of this week, right? Right now, all we have in it is the names of all faculty and staff and their phone numbers by their title and the areas where they work and their extension. And what they're doing right now is they're putting the finishing touch to that directory with a different section that will list employees by their area of work, by their offices or their division. So I'll just at least, something good came out of that meeting. Right? Now, you also had a request where you wanted us to get the one with the photographs of each employee and so on. Well, this one will be a much longer project. This will take some time, and I can't promise you, I can't guarantee you a time when it will be out. But one of these days, perhaps during the year, you may be able to see it. Okay, but I just want you to know that we will have this distributed by the end of next week to every division on campus. So everybody will have this. Okay? So the other good piece of news I want to share with all of you is I know that many of you read the Community College Times. It's a publication that comes out of the American Association of Community Colleges, right? And they do publish a weekly. And every year at about this time, they give an update on colleges and universities. They give an update on all the community colleges, the 1,200 community colleges in the nation, and how many students they have graduated, and then they disaggregate the data. I have some very good news for us here. Pasadena City College, nationwide, ranks 22nd out of the 1,200 community colleges in the nation. Pasadena City College is 22nd in the number of associate degrees that we conferred last year. And we are number 1 in the state of California. Just think about this. Pasadena City College, right here outside Los Angeles, the home of the Rose Parade, number 1 in California in the number of associate degrees, with 2,589 degrees conferred. Right? That's a 57% increase in the number of degrees conferred. Right? Now, it gets even better than that. As a minority service institution, right? Number 7 in the nation. The whole nation of 1,200 community colleges, Pasadena City College ranks 7th. And guess what? For California, it ranks number 1 again. Right? I mean, that's a major achievement. Pasadena City College, number 1 in degrees awarded to minority students. Number 1 in California for degrees awarded to Asians. Number 2 in the whole nation. Right? Number 1 in California for degrees awarded to Asians, but that's nationwide, but number 1 in California. So this is we're looking at a wonderful institution here with great outcomes. And for number of degrees awarded to Latinos, we are 15th in the nation, right? But for California, we are number 7. We're 7th in California. And we are behind East LA College, San Joaquin Delta, Santa Ana College, Mount SAC, Citrus, and Chaffey, right? Now, when you look at enrollment in all those colleges, I mean, Santa Ana is about 80% Latino, right? And we are 49% Latino, right? And yet, in California, we rank number 7, right? This is a major, this means that we have a dedicated faculty who work very hard to ensure that our students get the best education, right? And that not only they get the best education, but that we have a team of counselors and student support services that monitor, mentor, and shoulder those students so that they take the classes that they need, right? And that they apply for graduation and that they graduate. So Pasadena City College is doing its fair share in the state of California. And we do hope that we will continue in that tradition. We will continue providing the best education, and we will continue increasing the number of graduates, no matter what group they belong to. Even the data need to be disaggregated, but we will continue providing the best to all our students, yes. No, it doesn't. It does not get us anything extra from the state. Well, I think the joy of knowing that we as an institution of higher learning, we are doing everything we can to prepare the future leaders of this country. That we as a team of dedicated faculty and staff and administrators are coming together, wanting a better world, wanting to make sure that we have the best programs and we are preparing our students. Right? Okay. Cynthia.
I do know one tangible award that we currently do not qualify for, and I'm surprised because I think that collectively we do our best to serve students. And it's called the Aspen Award for Excellence, and it's offered by a national organization. They've recognized Santa Barbara City College, the community college in Washington, Walla Walla College. And so I think PCC, we should, strive to earn that award. And then I also been looking at this website which tracks all of the colleges nationally who are going based on performance-based funding. So there is a map of the United States that shows which states are paying colleges based on who completes, not who enrolls. And California is one of 7 states remaining with the current model of we get paid for who enrolls, not who completes. So for me, I think the future of California, we might be headed towards performance-based funding. So it's better for us to start, really producing the results that our students need so that we don't find ourselves in a really difficult situation in the future.
Trustee Matt?
Yes, I think we do get a reward. And someone can correct me, what percentage of our students are from out of the district?
68%.
68%. So we get the funds for all the students who are attracted here, we have been told by the students themselves, by the high quality of our programs. So in that sense, the state
That is, yes.
funding us.
Dr. Scott?
And also, we're trying to increase our growth targets. When the students hear the kind of success that people get when they come to PCC, they're going to want to come here. Also, accreditation requires that we have institutions set standards. And so it's important that we have standards and that we achieve them, because that will, in the long run, help us with accreditation.
Dr. Miller?
I'll just say very quickly that I think this is something that we all need to celebrate and communicate both externally and internally. It's an amazing accomplishment, and something I'm sure that our Office of Strategic Communications and Marketing
Right.
will be getting out. But these are incredible statistics.
Oh, yeah.
And we really need to ballyhoo these statistics and let the world know that we're being as successful.
Okay. So this is really good news. I mean, we started with 2 good pieces of, for those of you who came late, at the last meeting we talked about, we didn't have a directory of faculty and staff, and it was really difficult to find the phone numbers, so we worked on it, and we are going to have a directory sent to everybody pretty soon, all right? The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is the accreditation recommendations. You all know that now that all our faculty are back on campus, under the leadership of Dr. Scott and Ms. Chris, the faculty, we have put together a huge number of committees that work closely with the Accreditation Steering Committee. And those committees will, this week or by the end of next week, will be fully peopled, if you want, by faculty. The Senate is looking at sending names, right, at recommending the faculty who will be part of those committees. And we're looking forward to addressing all of them. It is very important that we as an institution, we as a body, that we all are on the same page when we address those recommendations. Those are pretty hard recommendations. Okay. The very first one I know relates to the integrated planning and budget system at the college, where planning will be driving the budget. And I know that Dr. Ryan Corner has been working very closely with the faculty committee, right? Planning and Policies Committee, right? Planning and Priorities Committee, right? To make sure that our planning process is approved by the Senate. The Senate has that on their agenda. I think they're for first reading this afternoon, and then the second reading and a final vote at the end of this month on the 28th of September. Right? Once we get this approved, we will be able to use this planning model to run through a full cycle that will be completed by the end of the spring semester. And once we complete that, we'll be able to tweak the model, we'll be able to look at how well the model worked, right, and make the appropriate changes. And that will help us get out of the way one of the most difficult recommendations that we have received from the Commission. That's the recommendation that puts colleges on warning or on probation or even show cause. If you take a look at the number of colleges that have been placed on some form of sanction, you will find that the greatest number of those colleges are on a sanction now because of planning and budgeting. Right? What the Commission wants colleges to get away from the model where budget drives planning and drives everything. Right? It should be the other way around. So we do hope that we all of us working together as a team, that we should be able to address this. The next topic that I want to bring to your attention is, you may have heard probably, because we have already talked to the Faculty Association, we have talked to the Senate, we have talked to the deans. We have a recommendation from the Commission that says that we have way too many administrators that are on an interim basis. They want us to be done with this. They want us to have a team of permanent administrators at the college. Now, when you look at this recommendation and you look at the positions that need to be filled, the interim positions that need to be filled, you will find that we have a model at the college, a model of schools. You have schools that each school has a dean, and then you have several divisions or departments under each model. Okay. And then you have several interim associate dean's positions that need to be filled. But when we look at the model itself, we look at the way it is being implemented or has been implemented, we find that model has not been fully implemented. If you take an example of the School of Humanities and Languages, there used to be 3 deans in that area in the past. You used to have a dean of the social sciences, a dean of languages, and a dean of English. Right? Now we have 1 dean who oversees the whole area, and then we have 1 associate dean in social sciences. So now we have the 2 areas of languages and English. Those 2 areas really have no one that is directly working with them, because the dean is the overarching person over the whole school. Now, this is something that is common in many other areas as well. So what we're looking at is working with the Senate, working with the Faculty Association, working with the deans. we are looking at, is this the model we want to implement and fill in the temporary positions, in which case we will have some areas will not have direct supervision because of the work that we have to do? Or is it something different, where there will be some kind of equity in the distribution of work for the administrators? And we've also heard from some faculty, from some staff, that it is difficult to really get to meet with the dean because of the huge amount of responsibility that is currently on the shoulders of the administrators overseeing those huge areas. So we're looking at something that will be able to address everything, so that when we address this recommendation, which comes to us directly from the commission, that is to say, replace all the the temporary positions, the interim positions with permanent positions, we will be able to say that at Pasadena City College, we have a system that is equitable and fair, where the job responsibilities of every administrator is more or less equitable. So we don't have a model that will address all the issues, but we are working with everybody to make sure that when we do have something ready to present to the board, to the faculty, and to staff, we will have something that we can all live by. Does anyone have any question, anything that they want to ask about this? Or? Yes. Well, I can't recommend anything right now. We're looking at all the models that we have available. We're looking at some of the things that we're talking with the faculty association. We're talking with the Senate. We've met with the deans, you know. We're looking at certain areas, something that will be fair to everybody. Once we are sure that this is something that we want to move forward, then we're going to be meeting with the board and make sure that everybody gets that model. Well, we need to, probably before the end of November or early December, we need to have something, because we need to be able to have all those positions filled, because to be able to address the recommendation, right? So for us to be able to have those positions filled for the 1st of July of next year, we need to be able to fly those positions by December, and then that'll give us time over the spring semester to meet with the candidates, to interview the candidates, going through all the process, the 3 levels that we have at the college, right, of interviews before we make the recommendations. Because no matter how we look at it, we have 9 recommendations from the Association of Community Colleges, Community and Junior Colleges. We have 9 recommendations. And we need to be able to show that we made major progress. Some of them, you can't even show progress. You have to show that you've completed them. Otherwise, you're going to remain on sanction. Right? There are a couple of them that would not have risen to the level of sanctions by themselves. But when all of them are put together, they do lead to sanctions. Okay? Yes?
What is your prime goal? Is it to
Just diversify all of that work, or to streamline it, or cut some of it out? Can you give us a clue?
We need something that we all can live by. Something that will be maybe streamlined is I don't know exactly how to define streamline. I mean, it's a word that we all use, but the thing is that we need a system that will make people accessible, a system that will be efficient, a system that will allow us to ensure that we have the proper scheduling, a system that will allow students access to administration in case they have problems, they have complaints, a system that will be fair to everybody, a system where our classified employees will have access to their supervisors, to the deans, and know exactly what the work entails. Okay? So that's the type of system. And no matter what we do understand that in some areas right now, because we get the complaints on a regular basis, right? In some of the areas right now, we don't have enough support. I mean, we hear that, you know. We hear that there is not enough support, so we will make sure that we do look at all that and ensure that everything goes according to what it's supposed to be. what will make an institution of higher learning function the right way. Okay? Now this takes me to, speaking of scheduling and so on, to the next item that I want to bring to your attention is enrollment for this fall semester. Right? We currently have 30,400, roughly 30,400 unduplicated headcount. That's the number of people coming to Pasadena City College right now. This is an increase from what we had last year. And we are very happy to say that we have reduced the number of sections that we offered compared to last year in the fall semester. We have 80 fewer sections, but yet we are taking more students also in the classes. And I do thank the faculty for that, for making sure that the classes are full. I do thank the deans for the work that they have done in scheduling the classes in a manner that is efficient and effective, that has allowed us to increase the productivity level of our operation. Okay? You see, because if we don't have a high productivity level, we will have difficulty making all the payments that we have to make at the end of the month. Even the state has a formula for that. The state looks at, now with the 16-week calendar, the number has changed. There is a way the state looks at it. In the past, with the 18-week calendar, the state came to a formula that said that you would need to have at least 35 students in a 3-unit class, meeting 3 times a week over the period of 17 and a half weeks, to be able to meet all the expenses that you will have to run a college. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean that this is an across-the-board 35 number, right? Because we know that there are classes that take fewer students because of safety reasons, because of mandated regulations such as nursing and so on, right? And you also have classes that take many more students. Okay. So that's something that's how it used to be. But now with the 16-week calendar, with the 35 students per class, there used to be a formula that was called the productivity index, and it would come to about 525. Okay. So now with the 16-week calendar, that has gone up to what, 590 now? What is it? 590? Yes. 590, right? Because you are concentrated now, right? And before you still have to, 1 unit is still 17.5 hours, but now your 17.5 hours would be over a period of 16 weeks, okay? So I'm very happy to say that we are moving in the right direction at Pasadena City College. That the productivity index is going up, our FTES is going up, and we are very hopeful, and we're certain, based on the information that we currently have, that the target that we have for the college, right, because the state gives you a certain amount of money and also tells you how many full-time equivalent students you will have to serve with that money. And our number, I believe, is about 23,158 full-time equivalent students. And right now, with our full-time equivalent students for the spring semester and the summer that counts for the 15-16 year, we know that we are on track to reach our target of 23,158. So that's very good news for all of us. The budget. We all know the budget. We all know that we have a budget, but there has always been many questions about how do you do that budget. We all know that we are looking at making sure that our planning process will guide the budget, but we need to know, if you ask faculty, if you ask staff, ask people, some would know, yes, how the budget is prepared, but many would say, well, I don't know, I mean, it comes out of Dr. Miller's office, out of Mr. Joshi Moneshi's office. But we want to make sure that the process, the budget process, is something that is understood by faculty and staff at Pasadena City College. You will notice that Mr. Joshi Moneshi and Dr. Miller will be scheduling budget workshops. I think they've scheduled some workshops already where They're going to show to the college communities in various sessions, various meetings that they're going to have, how the budget for 15-16 was prepared, where the money comes from. Okay. What are the various income sources? What are the expenses that we will have as an institution? How many positions we have? How do we budget for positions? I mean, they're going to be going around to show everybody how this gets done. And then before we do the 15-16 budget, we're going to show you the plan that we will have agreed as an institution, a plan that will have gone through the governance process of the college, right? The assumptions behind the budget. So all this will be made clear to everybody, so that when we speak about the budget, we speak about what we are doing at the college, we will be able to speak, if you want, in a more informed manner, because we will have attended the various workshops that will be conducted by Dr. Miller and Mr. Simoneschi and their staff. Any question on that? Is that something that you think you'll be attending? Okay. Yes.
I don't think I need that.
Okay.
From television and radio, and in the School of Visual Media and Performing Arts last week we had a school meeting, and we found out that our budget has been slashed by more than 90%. Nobody knew.
Okay.
Why? We didn't know that.
Okay.
So we begin the new term expecting certain things in our
Right.
classrooms, and none of us are getting any of those. And from my point of view, I needed a tutor as of last week.
Right.
There was a class that was normally partnered with mine that provided a crew that was cancelled. I have no crew. I'm in production next week. There are life drawing classes that was brought up in our meeting.
Right.
They have no models, so they have no one to draw. I'm not getting any answers from anyone.
Okay. I'll give you the answers right now, and then Dr. Miller and Joe and Jim Marnwine, they will be adding to that answer. As of this morning, the budget that you would have received for the year 15-16 has been fully loaded. The budget has not been cut by 90%. The budget that you would have received for 15-16 has been fully loaded, okay? Now, there was a cut in most budgets, and I will explain to you why there was that cut. But before I give you that answer, last Friday, there was a meeting between Dr. Scott, the Associate Vice President for Instruction, Dr. Bell, Dr. Miller, Joe, Cynthia, right, Dr. Olivo, right, to look at the budget. They've looked at it, they have asked questions, and they have found out some of those areas that needed additional funding. There were some cuts in many budgets because of the exigencies of the budget, in the sense that there were several areas last year where the expenditures were significantly, the actual expenditures were significantly over what had been budgeted. But I can assure you of one thing. To run your classes, if you need models, if you need accompanists for your classes to happen, there will be funding provided for that. I don't know exactly at what level, but as Jim probably will tell you, I'm pretty sure, Jim, that all those classes that require models will continue having models, right?
Well, we're going to work on that now that the budget is loaded. We'll see.
There you go. So I want to reassure you, and Dr. Miller will be addressing that right now, that we will do everything we can in order not, in any manner, shape, or form, to impede instruction. Bob.
So everything that Dr. Berdian just said is correct. In fact, just last Friday, in terms of the division that both Dr. Arnwine and Dean Footner operate, we put $150,000 back in that line item. So everything that Dr. Berdian said is correct. One other piece of information that's fairly important and critical in this is that as we come out of the Great Recession period, There were decisions that had to be made over the past several years that over the last 2 years we've been able to realign, if you will. So much of what we are doing now between the loading of the budget 100%, realigning some funding, we think we are in a better place than we were. We're not going to be exactly back where we were because the costs of running our institution keep outstripping in a significant way the income that we get from the state. It's a problem. It's a significant problem. But those things that are essential we will continue with. There may come a time when we're going to have to sit back and make some serious decisions about what we can continue to do and what we can't continue to do, but we're not there yet, and we hope not to get there.
Does that answer your question?
Except it doesn't address the immediate need. I think that in the planning process, decisions, and obviously the budget doesn't come out until July 1st, so most faculty are not here, they can't be privy to whatever the budget is going to be. But I think that it needs to be expedited so that faculty has answers early in the semester, the first week of the semester, so we can plan accordingly.
Yeah, we just
As
went.
of now, I needed help last week.
Right.
I'm going to need help next
Well.
week, and I still don't have an answer as to whether or not I'll get it.
Okay, well, you can talk to your dean about that because he has the answer now. And I would submit, and if we didn't do this correctly, I apologize, that we did load enough in the budget back in July 1 to deal with immediate needs. One of the things we tried to express to the deans and to others is that we're giving you enough to get started, and we will fill it up. I mean, it's a school year that begins with the summer, the fall, and the spring. So certainly there was funds in there to begin the process. However, we will improve upon it. We will deal what we need to deal with, and we'll take care of things as best we can. So there should be money now, Barbara, is what I'm saying.
And again, I want to reassure you that whatever is required to conduct a class, Dean Online is going to be working with you to make sure that you have that. Because we, under no circumstances, do we want our students to be deprived of what they need in the classroom for them to succeed, okay? So no, you don't, that you can rest assured, that is not going to happen, okay? And Dean Online to make sure that we get through that. Yes, Bobby. Well, you know, well, that's what we're working on right now. The Senate will be approving by the end of this month that planning model that we have, the planning process. And that planning process calls for the plan to inform the budget process for the following year. So this cycle that we will be going through starting the 1st of October, if the process, the plan gets approved, right, will allow for the faculty input, for everybody's input based on that plan to happen before the faculty go away at the end of the spring semester. Right? So that by the time they're leaving, they will know. They're not going to know exactly how much money there will be over there, that they will know what will be funded, what will not be funded. But of course, when it comes to instruction, everything that is key for instruction to take place will be there. Okay? You know, we cannot be offering a course in welding and then say that we don't have welding stakes. Okay? We can't be offering a class in drawing and say, well, we don't have the models. We don't have the whatever is needed for students to learn drawing. We can be offering a class in art and then say, you know what, we ran out of clay and we're not going to have any money, so we won't be able to do that. Okay? There are certain things that are necessary that will always be there. You can't have nursing classes and then tell students, well, you know what, we're not going to be doing this because we ran out of needles, so you're not going to get practice on how to draw blood. You know? So there are certain things that are part and parcel of instruction, and they need to be there. Okay. Any questions on that one? Did I answer your question?
It doesn't the long term, but not on the short term, because they're meeting tomorrow, and I don't know when I'm going to get a response.
Well, Dean Online will be giving you a response as early as you can meet with Dean Online, you will get a response. Okay, as soon as this meeting is over, you will get a response from Dean Online. Okay, all right. So, is that okay, Jim? All right. Joe.
So we did have a meeting on Friday regarding the budget. There was agreement on some shortfalls throughout the operational lines of the budget. We are currently doing the transfers. When we say as of this morning the budget was loaded, what we're talking about is on July 1st, 75% of the new fiscal year budget is loaded. The day after the board met and adopted the fiscal year budget, the remainder of 25% was loaded. So 100% is in your budget. Dr. Arnwine had a request for $150,000 to supplement the models and supplies and those things. That will be done. That transfer has not been done as of yet, but it should be done within the next day or two at the most.
Bottom line, there's money. So you can do what you need to do, okay?
Okay.
That's the bottom line.
That's what I was saying to you. Whatever you need for your class, you will get. All right. Okay. The next thing, so you also know that we have a Flex Day on October 1st. And I know that the Faculty Senate is working very hard on putting together the agenda for the day. All right. And I hope that all of you will be able to attend a Flex Day. It's a great opportunity to spend time with faculty, colleagues, and friends, and also to listen to some wonderful presentations that help with professional development. Yes.
Oh, thanks. Can you tell me who made the decision not to offer things like EEO training when that has traditionally been a part of Flex Day? And it's a very efficient time for us to get those things done.
EEO training on Flex Day?
Yes, that is not going to be included. Apparently, we have some other program that will take the entire day, so we cannot have department meetings or any of the training that we normally receive on Flex Day.
Sheila, you want to address that?
Sure. The Flex Advisory Committee has been meeting for several months, and it consists of representatives from management and faculty and classified staff. So that was a joint decision of all campus constituents.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me add something to, since you're talking about EEO training and so on. And I did see some emails over the weekend, emails that I think were addressed to all the various groups on campus. And Dr. Miller sent a reply to that. The EEO training as such, if you have been on a hiring committee in the past 24 months, if you have been on a hiring committee in the past 24 months, you have been trained, okay? You have been trained if you sat on a hiring committee. You have received the training. But we have to continue offering the EEO training for those people who have not been on a hiring committee and have not received the HR EEO training. So now, as to the scheduling of the training, I mean, that's the Flex Committee that takes care of that. But starting this year, I am doing something not different, but I am adding a new twist to the EEO training. What I have asked all the faculty hiring committees to do, I have asked HR and I have asked Dr. Miller and the other administrators to make sure that this year, when the hiring committee is formed for faculty, the faculty hiring committee is formed, at the very first meeting of each faculty hiring committee, there will be an expert who will come and give the committee a training in cultural sensitivity before the committee starts its work. Because I do believe that it is important, and I have listened to the EEO committee's recommendations also, it is important for us as an institution to make sure that the people who sit on our hiring committees, that they have all gone through the same cultural sensitivity training and that they all hear the same thing from the outside expert that will be here to give us that training. Okay. Anything else on Flex Day and EEO training? Yes. As I said, if you have been on a hiring committee in the past 24 months, you are trained.
Well, we got it.
And it will last for, now if in the following 24 months you are not on a hiring committee, then you will have to be trained again.
24
Can you add to
months.
that?
In our current EO plan, it says every 12 months, but we don't need to do it every 12 months. It's every 24 months. So we can, it's okay, Gloria. Thank you. We're going to address that fairly soon and modify the plan, take it to the board for approval.
Yeah.
Confusion on that, though, that some of us have gotten emails from our division that if we don't retake EEO training,
Right.
even though we had it at the last Flex Day, that come, say, for October, if a hiring committee is needed, we will not be eligible.
Yeah, we'll clarify.
We will clarify that.
Your date would be.
We will clarify that. We will have HR send a clarification to everybody, okay? Right, right.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that because I think I've had people kicked off hiring committees because they don't have the training, as well as people that their training has expired. And this is directly from HR.
But we're going to make sure we will work with HR so that everybody gets the right message. Everybody gets exactly the same message across the board. Right.
Committee for Dr. Burgundy's request, we're going to get this kind of cultural sensitivity,
Right.
diversity training. So you'll get it right.
Okay. So, yes. Well, that's when we're working on it, and I don't really tell you exactly what the curriculum is going to be like or what the agenda is for that 2 or 3 hour training or 1 hour training, whatever it is. But it will be some training that will get everybody, if you want, sensitized to the issue of cultural diversity. Okay. Well, you know, on a not too good note, our football team did not do that well last Saturday. I know Trustee Selvidge wanted badly to be at the ball game. He and I even went to see the coach early during the day to make sure that, but we didn't do that well. But we do hope that we will do much better the next game. Right? Mr. Barbone? Okay. And then we have named our writer in residence. This year we have the critically acclaimed novelist Susan Straight will be our writer in residence. And if you have the opportunity, please read her novels. She has written 8 novels and had her essays appear in the New York Times, Harper's, the LA Times. And so she will be here on campus, and she will be conducting also several lectures, my understanding is. And if you have an opportunity to listen to her, please do so, because I think it's an honor for us to have with us Mrs. Straight as our writer in residence. This is all I had to share with you, and I will be very happy to answer questions that you have on other areas. Yes, Leslie.
Actually, this is in regards to the writers in residence.
Yes.
We will have copies of various novels in the library available to check out. And additionally, we'll also have a research guide, so if any students are doing research on the writer, we will have a guide to help them do.
Okay. Yes.
I'm an academic senator, and last year we had 5 adjuncts.
Right.
Last year we had 5 adjuncts who were paid hourly, which is like 2 hours every other week, to be there to represent adjunct faculty issues.
Okay.
And so, and one of them's the parliamentarian. And I wonder this year if that would be funded again.
Well, if we get a request from the Senate, we will fund it, because we don't control how many senators there are. That's a faculty matter, right? The faculty senate decides how many members they will have. They decide how many adjunct senators they will have. And once we get a request on funding adjunct senators' positions, we will fund those positions. But it's not our call. We are not responsible for that. But we will provide the funding if that is asked of us. Okay? Yes.
Does that funding have to be requested every year, or is it a roll?
Well, that's
rollover?
the Senate decides how many members they want to have and how many adjunct faculty they will have. And each time they tell us that we're going to have 5 adjunct faculty or 4 adjunct faculty, we will provide the funding for it.
Right now, we're being told that there are no adjuncts
Well, we can answer that question whether they're adjunct or not on the faculty senate, because that's a senate matter, okay? But like I said to you, if we get a request to fund 3 or 4 adjunct seats, we will fund them, okay? Yes?
Hi, I just had a couple of questions. First question is, why are we in probation, the school?
Right.
And 2, the library, the computers are very limited, so we don't have enough library computers for every student to show up there and do their homework.
Well, why are we on probation? I mean, there are 9 recommendations that we got from the commission, right? And they, as I was mentioning earlier on, I mean, they go from planning to evaluations to many other issues, and we are addressing them all, right? Now, as to whether we will get off probation, I can guarantee, no one can guarantee that. We will be sending a report to the commission in October of next year. There will be a visit, and then at that point, we will find out. As to your question about the library, I mean, I have the dean of the library right here who can give you an answer to the question about computers in the library.
Computers on the library, the ones that we have there now, are on a refresh cycle, and we are up for renewal, and so those should be refreshed hopefully this year. As for additional computers for the library, in terms of space, we don't have the space for them, so we have been requesting funding for laptops, newer laptops and more laptops for students to use in the library, in addition to wireless printing. But those have not been funded as of yet, but we will keep fighting so that we can get those in there for you.
Now, how long will it take for that to come to fruit?
You know, that's part of a process that that we go through as on the academic side of the house, determining which resources are going to go where for upgrades and also for additional computing. So we're just in the beginning phases of that process right now, and so my job is to advocate for the library to get those resources in there, so I will continue to do so. So hopefully the process turns out in our favor.
I have one last question.
Okay.
Winter session, will it be implemented back again, or?
Well, I didn't hear your first
Will
one.
winter session be back implemented back again, or would it be still spring semester?
The winter intersession is part of the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
The calendar committee will be submitting its recommendation to administration, and then we will be taking that to the board sometimes in October. I believe end of October, all right? Okay, and so that's where we are right now on that, and we are working with the faculty association, right, that represent the faculty body for the 16-17 calendar year, because the 15-16 calendar year has already been established, and the faculty staff, and administration are putting right now to bed the spring semester schedules. Okay, so by the end of October, you will know all the answers to all that last question. All right.
One, in addition, the Associated Students created a video for students to explain accreditation. I can ask Irving Morales to give you a copy so you can share with the student veterans as well.
Okay, all right. Oh, Bob?
I want to add on the lab thing, again under Dr. Teratelli. Learning Resources as a group now is going to be reporting up to Dr. Teratelli. We have 72 computer labs on this campus, and one of the tasks that Dr. Teratelli and her team has is to better analyze the use of these labs and how we can try to make these labs more available to students, because it's a combination of physical space that she alluded to as well as the resources themselves. We've got maybe 3,000 computers on this campus available. It's just, are they really being used as well as they could? And that's part of what the analysis will work on. So we're working on that.
Okay. All right. Well, any more questions? Well, I'd like to, yes. Sure.
I have two, really. You spoke about the associate degree.
Mm-hmm.
How many other states have an associate degree for transfer like we do? And are we
Well,
compared with those?
all states have community colleges with courses that articulate to the four-year colleges.
Okay.
But when it comes to a state that has a law passed by the legislature mandating an associate degree for transfer that automatically guarantees admission to a state university,
Right.
California is the only one that has that.
It is.
Yes.
So we were compared with all states that offer all kinds of associate
Yes,
degrees.
but what I was giving is not associate degree for transfer. It's
Okay.
all associate degrees.
How many, no, what percentage of the total number of associate degrees that we offer does the associate degree for transfer represent?
I would say it's about slightly more than a quarter of those degrees, right? Slightly more than a quarter of those degrees, I think it was are the associate degrees for transfer. But ultimately, in the long run, probably the next 4 or 5 years or so, I think about 70 to 80% of those degrees will be associate degrees for transfer. Because when students come and they know that if they get in the associate degree for transfer, all they need will be 60 units. And then they transfer, their guaranteed transfer, they take another 60 units and they get a bachelor's degree. That's what they go for.
Yeah.
You know, all right?
Thank you.
Yes. Nalva, yes.
He's working so hard. Right along the lines of the transfer degree, I work with MESA, the STEM students. Our students will not do the 60 unit and get a degree because they're STEM students, they're high unit major.
Yes.
So most people know that STEM students don't walk.
Yes.
They don't get their degree, they just transfer because they're going to be short 2 or 3
Yes.
IGETC or whatever. What can we do? And I've talked to Dr. Olivo, I've talked to Armando Duran with regards to supporting our transfer students and getting priority the last semester they're here. Like right now, I'm working with students that are panicking because they're not going to apply to graduate, which does help them get priority registration if they're applying to graduate, because we're benefiting those students because we get points for
Right.
that. But our students that transfer, they're not going to put themselves out there an extra 2 classes to qualify for priority registration
Right.
when they could just transfer.
That is something that we can work out with student services and instruction can work out.
So is that something that's internal policy that
That's
we
a
could do to
policy. Yeah,
support?
that's
Okay.
a policy. Yeah, we have a policy on that. So that will,
So
it will
could
be.
you set
Well,
that up?
Dr. Olivo is right here. We'll be looking at.
No.
I mean, I honestly, what we've discussed, Melba, is that students would have to present proof that this is their final semester before they exit PCC.
Right.
So for everyone here in the room, our procedure that we changed for the college is that a student who is in their semester before their final term at PCC, and they show us through an ed plan, and we've audited their record, that they only have 3 classes to finish, they get second day priority registration. For the students who are not earning an associate degree, they would have to provide proof from a university that they will be admitted, so that it
Admitted or
follows.
applied?
Admitted, because
But
they could
that will
apply
never
but not
happen.
enroll.
But
We
you-
can
you-
continue to discuss it. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think
you
it's the
probably- you can
president to
work it
make
out
the one
with-
decision.
Right.
We'll
That's
continue to work
It's
it
a
out.
huge decision for my students
Yeah,
because
well-
they're leaving our campus and not finishing here because we're
Right.
not able to give them priority
Well, what we'll
registration.
do is I'll have Cynthia to give you the policy. So you can look at that policy, look at the section that apply to those students, and then if it is possible, Cynthia and the policy committee can look at it. Okay.